A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. Proverbs 25:28. No one is born angry. Anger arrives later, quietly, invisibly, when something deep within the human soul is violated. It begins as a wound, a betrayal, an injustice too painful to name. But instead of releasing it, many choose a different path. They swallow it. Imagine every insult, every humiliation, every unanswered cry poured into a glass bottle. The cap is tightened. The bottle is hidden. Life goes on, or so it seems. To the outside world, the bottle of anger appears harmless, still silent, under control. Yet beneath the calm surface, pressure is building. The contents churn in darkness, growing stronger with every suppressed emotion. What was once hurt is becoming something else, something more dangerous.
The rain over the city didn't wash anything clean. It only turned the asphalt into black mirrors, reflecting neon lights that flickered like warnings nobody understood. Deep beneath the precinct, Detective Marcus Vance sat alone in the records basement. The air smelled of stale coffee, damp paper, and the lingering weight of human mistakes. The phone rang.
This is Vance.
Chief Reynolds, Ashcroft City Police Department. I need your help.
Vance leaned back in his chair.
I've read how you solved the 3 men on a corner case. We have 2 crimes here that need your expertise.
Detective Vance responds,
If they're unsolved, send me the files.
They're already on their way.
Minutes later, the documents arrived. The chief asked,
Can you come immediately?
Clear it through my department, and I'll be on the next train.
The train sliced through the darkness as Vance reviewed the files. The first case involved a woman who drove to her ex-husband's workplace and emptied a handgun into his parked car.
Thankfully, no one was inside.
Vance wrote a note across the folder, trigger happy. The second file involved a teenage boy who stormed onto a school campus, screaming accusations at his girlfriend. Witnesses reported that he cursed, shouted profanities, and swore before God that she had betrayed him. No evidence ever proved she had. Vance labeled the second file, the jumper. He frowned. Both suspects were already in custody. Both had confessed. The evidence against them was overwhelming. Something didn't make sense. He called Chief Reynolds.
If these people are already in custody, why am I investigating?
There was a long silence.
I'll explain when you arrive.
Hours later, Vance stepped into Ashcroft City Police Department. Chief Reynolds greeted him anxiously.
I'm glad you're here.
Inside the office, the chief closed the door.
The evidence proves they committed the crimes.
Then what's the problem?
The suspects claim someone else made them do it.
Vance raised an eyebrow.
Evidence proves they committed the crimes.
Someone else?
They all describe the same thing. A person, or perhaps something, that appeared before they acted.
You think there's a third suspect?
Before Vance could respond, another detective rushed into the office carrying a phone.
Chief, you need to take this.
The chief answered. Immediately, his expression changed. Fear swept across his face. When he hung up, the room fell silent.
What happened?
The chief swallowed.
Someone been murdered.
The room froze.
They've arrested the husband. And? He claims the same thing as the other 2.
An hour later, Vance sat across from the suspect. The man looked exhausted. His hands trembled. His eyes were swollen from crying.
Tell me what happened.
The suspect stared at the table.
She wouldn't stop.
Your wife?
He nodded.
She kept accusing me, kept arguing.
His breathing became shallow.
I went into the garage.
Why?
I wanted peace.
What happened then?
I grabbed a ladder.
Vance frowned.
A ladder?
The Bible says it's better to dwell on the rooftop than with a quarrelsome woman.
The man buried his face in his hands.
I thought if I got away, maybe things would calm down.
What happened next?
The man slowly looked up. Fear filled his eyes.
He showed up.
Vance leaned forward.
Who? The man. What man? The one who showed up.
The room suddenly felt colder.
He started yelling. What did he say? He told me she would never stop. He told me she was my enemy. He told me nobody understood me.
The suspect began sobbing.
I tried ignoring him. And then he grabbed me. Grabbed you?
The man trembled.
He told me exactly how to make her stop talking.
The suspect looked down at his shaking hands.
The next thing I remember, my neighbor was screaming.
He broke down completely.
My wife was dead.
The husband stared at Detective Vance.
My neighbor saw him before he fled.
Detective Vance visited the neighbor who lived next door. She welcomed Vance into her home, a retired psychologist. The moment he entered, he noticed dozens of strange paintings hanging on the walls. Every painting showed conflict, arguments, violence, broken families, people trapped in darkness. The woman smiled.
You're studying the paintings.
They're disturbing.
They're honest.
Vance sat down.
Tell me about the husband.
The woman folded her hands.
You're not going to catch him.
Why?
Because after he gets people to react, he disappears.
Vance stared at her.
Who?
The one you're looking for.
You know him?
Oh, yes. Is he real?
The psychologist smiled.
Very real.
Vance took a deep breath.
Is he demonic?
No.
Then what is he?
The woman leaned forward.
He has a name.
What is it?
His first name is Impulse.
She paused.
His last name is Control.
The room fell silent.
He convinces people to pull triggers before discovering the truth.
She pointed toward a painting.
He causes people to jump to conclusions before gathering facts.
She points to another painting.
He turns suspicion into certainty.
Another painting.
He transforms anger into action.
The detective sat quietly.
So impulse control is responsible?
The woman shook her head.
Number. What do you mean?
Her smile faded.
Impulse control isn't the voice.
A chill crawled up Vance's spine.
Then what is it?
The woman looked directly into his eyes.
Impulse control is the door.
The next morning, Vance returned to the house. It was empty. Every painting was gone. Every piece of furniture had vanished. Only a newspaper clipping remained on the floor. He picked it up. The headline read, "Psychologist declared dead after mental hospital fire." The article was 30 years old. Vance's heart pounded. The woman he had spoken with yesterday had supposedly died decades ago. On the back of the clipping was a handwritten note.
You were looking for a third person. Start with the first.
Vance immediately called the precinct. A dispatcher answered.
Hello, Ashcroft City Precinct.
This is Detective Marcus Vance. I need Chief Reynolds.
Silence.
Sir, there is no Chief Reynolds here.
Vance froze.
What?
There has never been a Chief Reynolds employed by this department.
A cold sensation swept through his body.
What about the 3 suspects?
Sir, we have no record of those cases.
His grip tightened.
What precinct am I calling?
The dispatcher repeated the department's name. Vance's blood ran cold. The precinct he remembered visiting didn't exist. Neither did the chief. Neither did the detectives. Neither did the suspects. Everything had been an illusion. His eyes drifted across the room. Then he noticed something hanging near a photograph. The only thing left behind. He slowly approached. The image showed a little boy standing in front of a hospital. The child couldn't have been older than 8. Handcuffs hung from his wrists. His face was wet with tears. At the bottom of the photograph were 3 words. The first case. Vance stared at the image. Suddenly, memories he had buried for decades exploded into his mind. A hospital. Fear. Anger. Adults accused him. A fight. A voice whispering, "Hit him first. Don't let them hurt you. React before they do." The photograph slipped from his hands. His legs weakened. The little boy wasn't a witness. The little boy wasn't a suspect. The little boy was him. Marcus Vance. The first case. The first victim. The first person who had opened the door. The psychologist's words echoed through the empty house. Start with the first. At last he understood. The woman, he witnessed his mother shooting the gun at his father's car. The teenager, he accused his girlfriend with false accusation, hurting her feeling in public. The husband, where the bottle of anger bursts. They had never been separate investigations. They were reflections, lessons, warnings, a trail leading back to the beginning, back to the frightened child who became the witness, the teenager, and the husband. For years, Vance had hunted criminals. For years, he had searched for evil in other people. Now he realized the greatest investigation of his life had always been his own. Then, somewhere behind him, he heard it. The same whisper he remembered from childhood. The same voice. The same temptation. React first. Think later. Vance closed his eyes. The rain hammered against the windows. For a moment, he stood at the crossroads of every decision he had ever made. Then he slowly turned toward the darkness. No. The whisper faltered. No, he repeated. This time I know who you are. The darkness seemed to recoil. For the first time in his life, Marcus Vance faced the voice instead of obeying it, and the voice became silent. As dawn broke through the storm clouds, the detective finally understood the mystery. As he stared down at the old news clipping, he was never Detective Vance, but the one locked behind closed doors at Ashcroft State Mental Hospital. For life. For losing control.
The greatest murderer in history had never carried a gun, never wielded a knife, never left fingerprints. It simply whispered and waited for someone to listen. Proverbs 29:20. Do you see a man who is hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control.
Mixed Emotion is a collaboration of short stories solely created from imagination for entertainment purpose only. In the event these stories may reflect some incidents of reality of any person's life or situations of any institutions, not intended but coincidental. Enjoy Mixed Emotions, short stories by VG.